Hello. Happy Thursday, and your girl feels great. So, I feel great, but I still feel a little bit stuffy. So I had to cancel my today and tomorrow because I don't want to, I don't know, I just don't want to put any of my clients in any possibility of catching a flu or a cold or whatever I had. I'm actually gonna get tested today. So yeah, so I said, let me just let them know. So we canceled it. So I said, let me just put on some makeup, take some medicine, drink some coffee, and I'm about to film. So I'm in a better mood. I was very down earlier today, maybe because I'm on my period, but I was very down, and my armpits, anyway, it is what it is. We all have armpits. We all have pits. But I'm in a better mood. Stop saying I say all the time. I'm in a better mood because of coffee, really. But you know what I did? Honestly, so I went outside, and one of my happy places is my backyard. I love going outside and just talking to the universe. So there's a few trees in my backyard, just a few. I mean, I wish I had Mother Nature's forest behind me, but I don't. And I just talked to the universe, and I drank some coffee, and now I just feel a lot better. So I'm like, okay, go touch up your makeup. I'm gonna go powder myself, put on my mic, put on a bra because they kind of low, and I'm gonna film. I just went over the outline of my notes, so I'm ready to film. I still have everything on my desk. My housekeeper, who's so amazing, oh my god, I love her, she just left. She hooked your girl up. Since we've been under the weather, our house kind of has fallen to the wayside, so she came and brought it back to life, which I'm so grateful. You gotta look at the things. I just had a thought. I had a thought, guys. I had a thought. You know what? We about to talk. Hi, what is that? I'm sweating, by the way. So I was talking to my therapist about my rich self and who she is and what she does on a daily basis. And I spoke about how I love the idea of getting up in the morning, drinking coffee, all that jazz. I think I told y'all that. But she was also asking me, she mentioned that she read an article somewhere where it said that rich people's toilet paper the toilet paper roll is usually positioned upwards, you know, the roll is up, so it's like that rather than this. And so when you tell yourself, okay, so therefore because I am rich, or subconsciously, if you're someone who's seeking to be rich, you would make sure that you insert your toilet paper upwards. So she subconsciously does that now, which I thought was brilliant. Brilliant. You have it's brilliant. So anyway, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so smart. I'm gonna do that. And she was like, and I was also like, you know what? My toilet, I have a bidet. I have a squatty potty. Why do I do this to myself? So I was telling her, I was like, I have a bidet, I have a squatty potty, so that whole process is great. And she was like, what, you have a bidet? I'm like, yeah. She's like, you're already living rich. I was like, really? She's like, yeah. I was like, okay. And then we were talking about, I don't know, somehow we got off that subject, and I was talking about, she asked me what, do you buy your coffee or do you make your own coffee at home? I think that was the question. But anyway, and she was like, oh, okay, she said, do you buy coffee or do you make coffee at home? And I was like, oh, I make coffee at home. She was like, what kind of coffee machine do you have? And I was like, an espresso maker. And she was like, what? Do you have an espresso maker at home? I was like, yeah, I do. And she was like, so you're already living rich. And I'm like, okay. Okay. So as I say that, I have that, and then I can afford a housekeeper twice a month. It's not all the time, but twice a month. And I don't have to stress and clean my house all the time. Sometimes it's hard to really see the kind of life you have right now when you are comparing it to the life you want. And a lot of times the life you want, you're living in it right now. So just saying housekeeper, I was like, girl, you have a housekeeper. And if you would have asked me like a year ago, I would have been like, I wish I had a housekeeper. And now I have a housekeeper. I think sometimes we need to, scary. Sometimes we need to take a deep look inside ourselves before we look outside and see that your life is actually great. First of all, most of us, most of the people who watch me live in a first world country. So to be born in a first world country is already a privilege. And I know that can come off a certain way to some people but take yourself out of that and look at it in the macro sense. That's a privilege, and I'm grateful, right? So you have that, and then you start thinking about everything that's around you. You have shelter, you have clothes, you have food, and it's like, okay, I'm good. What am I complaining about? And then of course you have these aspirations, right? I'm looking at my vision board, which I need to put on the wall. I told myself today, put your vision board on the wall. I'm tired of seeing it on my fridge. But anyway, but you know, of course there's things that you aspire to have because you like nice things and you want to travel and do things. Like there's things that you want to experience, which I'm looking at my vision board and realizing, Judi, I'm trying not to cry. Oh, the spirit. Maybe it's my age. It's my 30s. But you're living the life that you want. And it can only get better. Yeah. It can only get better. So, if you're sitting there and like, oh my gosh, my life is not where I want it to be, or I was there before too, and it was really hard for me to take a look inside and say, oh no, I'm happy, because I wasn't, until I realized that no, you're living the life you want and it can only go up, especially when you keep your mindset there and don't let your mind go negative, because it's very easy for us to compare ourselves to others, to allow our minds to go negative and start to think, and I always use the phrase, woe is me. And when you stay in that mindset, it's very difficult to get to where you want to become, to where you want to go. So if you're someone out there who's just not happy with your life or where your life is at, I've been there before, and just know, just keep at it. Whatever you're doing, keep at it. Be consistent in it, whatever it is. Don't give up. Don't give up. And if you feel you want to give up because it's just not working, just know that that's your turn, your time to continue, or that's your time to pivot. So does it mean that you stop cold turkey and you're like, it's not happening, it's not working, I'm done? No, it just means it's time to pivot. Okay, this is not working, so what else can I do? Because you've learned, as you've been in that journey, you've learned so much that you can take to something else. So don't throw it away just because it's not working. It's just your time to pivot. So that was that. I'm such a crybaby when it comes to like realizing things or those aha moments or even thinking about 20-something-year-old Judi. It makes me cry because she didn't have the foresight to see her today, me today, you know? But anyway, let me go really touch up my makeup and I should have done more coffee and record this video. Let me make, yep, it's here. Anyway, let me get up and go do what I need to do, and I will see you guys when I'm done. So, peace.